let's start off with Spy Family season 3,
Okay.
because I know they're still now, full disclosure, they haven't dubbed. I know it's always the tricky part with holiday. Like, you want to give people the time off, so they haven't dubbed the last 3 episodes of season 3, so it is incomplete. But we are just going to give our thoughts on it right now, like what we've watched up until this point. Zach, it's been a different show. Like, it's been, I know we watched the first episode reaction, and we were both like, hey, it's still Spy Family, still had the,
Yep.
over the top shenanigans, the funny, like, triple spy, like, Anya's trying to keep secret and keep the peace in the household, while Lloyd and Yor are both like trying to hide their other jobs from themselves. So, but we were both like, where's the through line? Like, we need, like, can we get back on track? Well, episode 2, my guy, it didn't get back on the main track, but Spy Family said, "Oh, y'all think we're too lighthearted? Like, y'all want more of like the cruise ship? Well, we could take it up just a notch more if we want to, because there's 2 arcs in this season so far. Like, I know that we have 3 more episodes that definitely go a little bit darker, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
I was not expecting it. And like me and Amy were watching it, and I was like, what in the world? Especially the Lloyd arc. I was like,
yes,
holy crap.
yeah, yeah, dude. It's it because they start off, they talk about the Lloyd, because the arc is called Lloyd's backstory. I'm like, okay, so far we haven't got, like, it started at the end of season 2, and I'm like, okay, still haven't gotten Lloyd, like, we're episode in, and then it starts. I'm like, okay, cool. He's, this is him growing up. They're very coy about what his name is, to keep up the spy
Yeah,
persona.
like it
Right.
like blurs it out and everything.
At first I thought it was like the app. I was like, oh god, don't mess up on me. But I was like, no, that's intentional. And he's going with his war friends. Like, obviously he has a rough upbringing with his dad. Like, him and his dad,
Yeah.
like, it kind of hits close to home, because there was some similar conversations between my father and I about growing up, about living in fantasy world. So I was like, get off those cartoons, you watch them too much, so that it kind of hit close to home. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a nice, they just keep talking about it, like, it's funny because in the modern day they're talking about trying to keep the peace between the nations, and not let
Yep.
another war break out. And I'm like, okay, this is they're always going to talk about it, and then it ends the way that it ends, and my jaw dropped the farthest it has ever dropped, because I did not see that coming. I'm like, what is happening? Like, I did not see this coming at all. And then it
Yeah.
just continues in episode 3, and you get a little moment of hope, down the road, and you're like, okay, cool, cool, cool. And then it's like, nah, we're gonna do it for real this time. We're gonna, yeah, exactly. It was just such a mind twist that I'm like, dude. Oh, what were your thoughts? I'm sure you had a similar reaction to me.
Same, dude. Like the beginning of the season, because we rewatched episode 1, Amy and I, and then we got into episode 2, and I was like, I know Derek talked about like we actually start a good arc soon, and
Hmm.
and I remember, I think it was season 2 or something that mentions Lloyd's kind of
Hmm.
a little bit in, like, war torn and all of that, and then seeing it and where the first bomb hits and everything, you're like, oh god. Like, Amy actually caught it. I didn't catch it at first.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god. And I was like, it just kind of blew my mind, like, that we were going this dark, because like with your, like, yeah, she is an assassin, you definitely get more violence and
Hmm.
everything, but they're, bad people, they're, making the world not beautiful and all of this kind of stuff. But then you see like these kids like being like, it's civilians, it's not even an
Yeah.
actual like military target, it's like a just a regular city and everything. And seeing the father, how he acted, and like how like he flipped the switch as soon as he was like, oh, I want to buy a book or whatever, and it was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, then you're growing up or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I feel you, same thing. It hit very close to home. It's like, oh, you're weird, you're never going to amount
Hmm.
to anything because your head's in the cloud and all of that.
Hmm.
So it was heart wrenching. And then as it went on, it just kept getting more and more. And then seeing how they took where Lloyd was going into the program and then goes to the next episode where the handler is training the new kid and all of that in there. Like it just was done so well. But at the beginning of the season, I was like, I don't know, man, we're about to get the same stuff. And then they're like, oh, hold my beer.
Exactly. And then like pretty much him getting arm twisted into joining Wise too. In episode 3 was just like, he was just like, Lloyd's like, yeah, I don't want any part of this. Like the war's already taken so much from me, done so much to me. Like I just have a whole different perspective. And then he's like, yeah, we don't take no's for answer, and your skills are actually proving to be what we need right now for our agency. And it's like, you're coming whether you want to or not. And he's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess.
I
Twist the
loved it,
knife.
how he met Frankie as well.
Yes, that was so great. And
Like,
again, it's like Frankie was playing the opposite side, and there was also it's also, they did a nice dialogue about war itself,
yes.
because the whole rhetoric of like, Lloyd is like, well, no, y'all are like doing this, and then Frankie's like, well, no, y'all, it's because y'all are doing XYZ. And it's like the dialogue, like how the media and the government is like
Yep.
controlling the information that is fed to you to make you feel and think a certain type of way, to make you hate or like be all anti this and all love for this country
Yep.
type of deal. Like, it's very real world. It's like very like, okay, I caught when I caught that, I'm like, well played, guys, well played.
Yeah, the writing fantastic. The way it actually was showing the twists and turns, even like in our country, where you're pitting. We are not in war essentially, but we're always getting pitted. One, left versus right, and this versus that. It's always
Or even in conflicts we're not involved in, like Israel, Gaza.
yeah, and the way Spy Family handles that is so good. I want to hit nice guys comment here. Some theories say Lloyd's father's trying to protect his son because of the closeness of the war. Is that true? And I definitely could see that. Like I think his dad, from what I was gathering, his dad was involved in something kind of like Lloyd.
Like right. And I at first, when I when it portrays those sequence of events like toward the end, like to the bombing, I'm thinking, oh, was his dad part of that?
Yeah.
Did his dad know about that, and he was on one of the ships when it did it?
Yeah. Was he like trying to stop it, whatever it is? And like him, being a grown up, you understand the world a lot more compared to like a child and everything. And you want to protect your son. You want to protect everybody that's around you. But the way Lloyd's father handled it was not the right way. The abuse, the way he was like, harping on the wife and all of that. It was
Yep.
like you could tell that they were walking on eggshells anytime he
Yes.
was around. Even when the war was going on and they were living with their uncle, it was much more peaceful
Mhm.
than when he was home. And that has a lot to say there too.
It's also a dialogue about stuff that you could have changed. Like, you always have those regrets in life. It's like, oh, what if I had done this differently? Like, again, if if Lloyd's father did have that mindset of like trying to keep him away from the closeness of the war,
Mhm.
or like, because Lloyd's dad was like, close to like pretty much ear to the ground. That's a weird way of doing it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And it's also like, man, I wish I could have done things differently, but that's the only way I knew how to do it.
Just because it's the only way doesn't excuse the behavior as well.
Exactly. So,
That I feel like a lot of times people try to excuse that, but the character development to get Lloyd where he is right now, and then where we are in the next arc with the bus.
it's funny enough, like it all stemmed because Lloyd passed out because Anya got another Taditros bolt. Because
Yes.
that lady, by the way, the handkerchief Nazi was funny, but also
Yes.
it's just like, Anya, no, like, and Anya was so confident, it's like trying to be nice to Damian's like, here you go, you can have my
Suck it,
hanky.
son.
I have another one. I have another one, and she's like, oh crap.
Megan Shipman doing the work in this season.
Yes, for sure. So, but yes, let's get to the other dark part of it, the bus jacking arc, about because they made mention to a group like in season 2 about the Red Circus, right?
Mhm.
And then we finally see it, or at least the remnants of it, because most of their group has been captured. And
Yep.
they decide, hey, Eden College has a bunch of kids with prestigious parents in high value positions. Let's
Mhm.
take them, and that way they can we can get our demands met on this. And it's not not bad thinking, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside now, sure the Forgers will care about Anya. I'm not talking about them, like, but as far as like the people in positions of power, outside of Becky's, like at least maid, and I think her father
Well, her
cares
father
for her
was
too.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, her father too. Most of when we see it time and time again, when you have like people holding hostage about the rich, especially if it's like the next of kin, the parents are like, whatever, pay him what he need. Like they're just no, it's not like they don't care about their kids, but they're very nonchalant about it because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, all they want is money, or some parents are even scumbags about it and they're like, yeah, we can make more, whatever.
Well, it's like, "Oh, he's the spare."
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? He's the
Right. It's like,
spare.
oh, we have a more accomplished child. We care about them more. I'm like, all right, but and you're thinking like, yeah, okay, bus jacking, like not cool, like very different, especially like with kids involved. But even like, and I know it turns out to be like a red herring or like a bait and switch. But the moment they put a collar on, and it was like Anya, I was like, I jumped out my couch, like, don't you dare! I got very defensive on you. I was like, as soon as she tried to like play the game, and he was like, all right, I'm not having this. I need to control these kids. And he puts the collar on. It's like, you have a bomb now. I'm like, no, like
Yeah.
I got heated. But then when she read his mind and it's like, oh, it's a fake, I'm like, thank God.
And then
But
she's
it's,
like,
I know.
like me.
And everyone's like so astounded, like she's playing it so cool. I'm like, because she knows, but
Nerves of steel.
I know, so elegant. But no, like, dude, like I thought, man, I'm like, man, they're about to ratchet. Like they took the Lloyd Argons, like, all right, we're gonna ratchet it one more. We're gonna have child bombs, like bombs
Yeah.
strapped to a child. Like we're gonna take up the darkness just a little bit more. But they're like, not really. We're gonna give the illusion, but we're not monsters.
Well, there is a bomb in there. That's my baby.
I know, my baby. Oh man. But just seeing that, and then he like how Damian just is like, hey, I need to not have her be in this alone. It's like
Yeah.
him take a bomb with it, and like those four students, because even like the tall like dodgeball kid, who ironically is also voiced by like Jared Green, who voices Shinso from My Hero Academia.
Okay.
By the way, just seeing that whole incident of like the whole like, all right, and the what's the agency that gets involved, that
It's like the secret police or something
yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
Essentially, yeah. But seeing them, and it's like, man, like they're the nonchalant ones, especially like, just, if some kids get mowed down, oh well,
Yeah, they're
oh
like,
well.
we don't negotiate with terrorists. If there's casualties, that's fine. We'll
We'll
I
just
was
chalk it up. We'll spin a story about it. I'm like, dude, that's so wrong. And how Lloyd came, like we see at the end of it after it got resolved, is like Lloyd's just like, thank God I didn't have to go. I
yeah.
didn't have to step in.
Just the way the writing in this season, like I feel like the cruise ship was a lot more action packed. There was some comedy in that compared to this season where there's been action, but it's been more tension and more commentary on war or how parents interact with their kids, the
Mhm,
value of their children, and everything. That they're not just somebody to look good for them. It's another
mhm,
extension of them, that sort of deal. But the way that everything resolves, and even with the leader of the Red Circus, I think his name was Billy,
yeah.
like his like seeing why he's doing this, where he's come from. I don't want to give everything away for the people that
Mhm,
haven't seen it, but because Anya is able to read minds and how she's able to play that, even though like
mhm.
Anya is not the smartest tool in the
No,
shed,
and
sharpest
she
tool in the shed,
misconstrues things too. So
but the way she's able to play it and get him to do what's necessary and everything was amazing. And I do want to hit real quick on Dan's comment here was
mhm.
when Damian's mother shows up.
Yes, I was gonna hit that next, dude. like she like well, first of all, like you're coming screaming around the corner, like, and she ran the whole way. There's like my baby, and then Anya finally like breaking down, being like, um, but no, Damien, and then seeing Damien's mother, and it's like, please, like, first of all, see, telling him like, talking about like, oh, you gotta exhibit a strong persona. It's just like, don't tell dad I cried, and it's like like she does like genuinely start to care for him, but then like the moment he mentions his dad, she flips a switch,
And
and it's
how it's
like,
like the juxtaposition of both thoughts.
yeah, it's like, he is my kid, but he probably should have been taken out on that bus. I'm like, dude, what is
Yeah,
this woman? And when your meets are like, because to back it up a little bit, they have like
the
the
Lady
net,
Patriots.
yeah, the lady Patriots, and you're meeting her. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This is the through line that we need to continue on to the to move the plot through. Is like maybe this is another angle that Lloyd can exploit later down the road. And then like something always felt off about her, like the way she would answer, the way she would just talk. It's like her and her husband don't really seem like they do things together, and it's
Yeah.
like it just seems like they're co-parenting, and it's like you
I don't
see
even think
this,
they're
and it's like,
co-parenting, dude.
oh yeah, and and you have to think it's like, okay, is it how crazy is the dad? But also, it's just like, is the marriage arrangement the way it is because of the mother, or like what? Who's at fault? And like now, both of the parents can be at fault for this
Yeah,
because
oh
there's
yeah.
always those political arranged marriages, essentially, or like
Mhm.
political power marriages. But what in the world is going on with the mother? Because when she did that whole 360, it threw me for a loop. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, what is happening? Like, it was the moment you see her face change, I'm like, oh no. And I'm thinking it's like, oh, she's like hates the husband. I'm like, she's like, don't mention your father or whatnot. But
Mhm.
then when Anya's reading her thoughts, and she's like hating on Damian, I'm just like, wow, this is crazy.
Such a stark contrast to her thoughts and actions a moment ago, and
Hmm.
then having those thoughts plus the other ones was I want to see where that goes. And then with Anya, like she's constantly trying to insatiate herself with Damien in different ways and all of
Hmm.
that. And then she finally understands, oh, I should just invite him to my house instead of me trying
Yeah.
to get him to invite me
Yeah,
to
it's
theirs.
probably for the better.
Yeah.
Oh, because it'd be really awkward.
Yeah, and Dan had a good comment. Let me find it real quick. Where's that? I can't find it. Somebody said it. Somebody said, "Oh, it was a nice guy." I was so sad because Anya understands Damien family issues. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we also see like your and her like work colleagues go out, and they're like, "Y'all are so perfect," and like she gets drunk and she's like making up all this stuff. They're
I
like,
know she's like,
"Stop."
"No, we do fight. I don't do everything I need to for him." And it's like, they're even like, "Girl, you don't have to try, please."
Yeah, it's like it's okay. Y'all are perfect. But this season so far has just been fantastic. The way that they've ratcheted up the tension
Mhm,
between the West and the East, the things that we're dealing with. We are getting like kind of missions of the day.
mhm.
Still, I enjoyed the Frankie and what is her name?
Um, uh,
Silver haired lady. I
yeah.
enjoyed that episode. I liked the episode where the director of the like uh hospital thing is like trying to get
Yes,
Lloyd.
that's so great. And he like twisted on him. I'm like, "Oh, this is perfect."
The way this season is going, I can't wait to watch the rest of it, but I am so happy to see where we're going because the last episode that we did of Eat Sleep Anime, we were like, oh my God, is it going to be more of just episode after episode of these
Mhm.
like little things, but then getting the more serious tones and in the season so far has been fantastic. So I'm loving it. And Amy says, Yor makes me feel less socially awkward.
Yeah. That is true, and I'll say, like, I have some social awkwardness too sometimes, especially when meeting new people, but I'm like, it could be worse. It could always be worse.
Yuri, like his arc of I don't care about that little gremlin thing or whatever,
That
but
little chihuahua.
yeah, it's like, but him still wanting to help because he
Yeah,
knows how much Anya means to Yor and everything.
exactly.
Great season. Cannot wait for the rest of it.